Hi again, everyone, and welcome to another episode of RVBusiness Capitol Talk. I'm Rick Kessler with RVBusiness. Sherman Goldenberg, who normally would be joining me, is not able to make it today, so I'm going to be flying solo, but that's okay because I'm really happy to be talking with Jen Young and April Cumming, both of them from Outdoorsy. Jen was a co-founder of Outdoorsy back in 2014, and April's PR manager. Thank you so much for joining me.
Hey, Rick, thanks a lot. Really happy to be with you, particularly towards the end of summer season. So it's nice to have a final hurrah.
Hey, good segue, because you just came out with some really nice Labor Day statistics. If I remember correctly, I think at the time of the press release anyway, your Labor Day bookings were already up 9% over last year.
Yeah, that's right. Labor Day is a really popular weekend, isn't it? It's sort of the last weekend where families and everybody think about what's the final week or weekend trip that they can squeeze in before the weather starts to turn on us. And our business has been doing extremely well. Bookings are up, not just for Labor Day. We're looking at 9% or double-digit growth there, but also our repeat bookings are up, which is pretty interesting. And this is the largest segment for repeat bookings for us across all of the summer travel holidays. So 22% of our bookings for Labor Day are from repeat customers. That's
outstanding. April, I don't mean to put you on the spot, but the other nugget that I saw on that particular release was that Outdoorsy said that the cost of an RV vacation is only up 5% year over year, especially nice compared to other travel options for people.
Yeah, that's right. We've really haven't seen too much of a change when it comes to just the nightly rates of RV trips. From what it was in 2019 and even throughout the pandemic. Whereas, you've seen a lot of these spikes happen in hotel travel and air travel, and a lot of people complaining about, the inflation going on there. We have not seen that effect. So they're still around the same prices that you would typically see in years past.
What's great about our business, Rick, following on from April's point, is we don't cover a lot of those operating costs or the overhead, right? We don't have to pay for massive staff costs for gate attendees or ticket agents or flight agents or bellhops or all the staff that has to operate hotels or airlines. In our world, the owners of recreational vehicles just really want people they want their calendars booked up, or they want their vehicles booked up. So I think the actual price change from previous years to this year's might only be $5, which is not much of an increase when you think about the other increases that, American and North Americans are facing in terms of, everyday household costs due to inflation.
And you know what? I probably made a mistake there. I just assumed that everybody watching this knows what Outdoorsy is. Jen, if you don't mind, give us an overview of Outdoorsy.
Yeah, absolutely. Outdoorsy is the largest outdoor travel marketplace. Our core business right now is RV rentals, and that ranges from recreational vehicles of all types and sizes, motorhomes, camper vans, large Class A's, teardrop trailers. We have thousands of different options in 4,800 cities across North America alone. And on the supply side of the business, it's probably the safest marketplace, and somebody who owns a recreational vehicle can consider for making extra dollars in a safe and easy way. So it's a perfect side hustle if you own an RV and you're looking to rent it while you're not using it. Outdoorsy.com makes it super easy and simple for you to list the vehicle. Our marketplace provides all of the insurance, 24/7 customer service and support, account management to help owners manage their vehicles on the platform. And a big portion of of our business is actually serving the small business owners and RV rental companies and traditional dealers. We have professional software that allows them to run their entire business on a mobile phone, easy wherever they are. So if you have anything from 1 vehicle to 30 vehicles, Outdoorsy.com is the place for you to build a business. And then if you're anybody in the world looking for a way to realize a fun, safe, cost-effective trip, compared to other travel options out there, Outdoorsy.com is like going shopping for the best summer vacation.
Tell me about, you've already mentioned a few of the numbers that support this, but tell me about the growth of the company from when you and Jeff founded it, or Jeff Cavins founded it in 2014 through the pandemic, and then now on the tail end of the pandemic.
Yeah, I mean, a timely conversation for us to have, or a question for you to ask me, because Outdoorsy is nearing the corner to a significant financial milestone for us in our business trajectory. We're pretty close to hitting a $2 billion in gross sales or gross GMV revenue across the history of our company. We'll probably hit that milestone this quarter. And alongside of $2 billion in gross transaction also comes nearing our 1 millionth booking. And this is just the booking. So if you think about the number of days or the miles traveled across all of our customers, we're talking about, 5 million plus days spent and hundreds of millions of miles traveled. So the company has grown significantly and consistently from the early days back in 2015. We've scaled across the US and Canada, most countries in the United Kingdom, and a few countries in Western Europe. And the business was ticking along very lovely, double-digit growth rate, 400% growth rates. And then COVID hit. That was definitely a challenge for us to figure out, how do we well, first of all, will we have a business? Because if you remember back in those memorable months, everybody removed all of their travel plans. And so our company saw a complete decline in bookings. We went from hundreds of thousands of bookings to zero within a matter of 2 or 3 weeks period of time. But then fortunately, through the rebound period of COVID, Outdoorsy became one of the most popular travel options available, because there's so many inherent benefits of spending time in a recreational vehicle. I mean, you are social distancing with a tree, or you are social distancing near a lake, and it is so affordable. It is such a safe way to also plan your own meals and save costs around how you choose what activities you want to participate in, whether they're individual or in groups or families. It's also the best way to protect against stress, because this type of vacation really is a stress reliever. So Outdoorsy's bookings, I think from the lowest point to the highest point during COVID, shot up 4,500%, so over 4,000% growth. So, obviously I'm talking about some big swings in growth rates here, but what I would say is the business has been a continuous growth story, and that's because we are charting the way for not only a new form of travel that is made so accessible and so easy everywhere. Everyone has a recreational vehicle, and there's so many wonderful geographies and spots to see across this country and Canada and globally.
It's a continuous growth story for sure. It's an astounding number, 4,500%. April.
Yeah.
What are some of the stories that you gather, maybe from almost testimonials, but from some of these people, especially if it's their first time renting an RV? What are some of those anecdotes?
Yeah, for sure. Just to add on to something that Jen just said, I know I hear Jeff, our other co-founder and our CEO, say this a few times, but just the amount of growth that we've seen in the past couple of years, really, it was equivalent to maybe what it would have taken 10 years if we hadn't have had the pandemic. And I know I've also heard Jen say before, nobody would wish for a pandemic to experience the level of growth that we experienced, but it really has felt like 10 years worth of exposure or brand awareness and condensed into a period of 2 years time. So it really is just so many more people are aware that this is an option now to rent an RV or a camper van and take their family out on a weekend road trip. We've obviously seen nearcations trending this past year, this past couple of years, especially this past summer as gas prices started to spike higher, and now you're starting to see those gas prices come back down. But I think just the idea of taking a trip within, a couple hundred miles or a few hundred miles of home was something that we saw trending among renters. And honestly, when you factor in like how much gas costs now a gallon, and you think about like a 7-day trip, we like to think that the first day of travel, really, you're driving a lot, and then you're often spending the next 5 days at a campsite. And then, you're driving again to come home. So it's not like you're really driving every single day of the trip. At least the majority of our renters are not doing that. They are actually spending some idle time, really decompressing in nature, spending time at the campsite, whether that's with their family or their pets. And to that degree, I'll say one of my favorite stats from this like Labor Day travel trends report was that one of the like most used filters that we're seeing people select on our site when they're searching for their RV or camper van is pet friendly. So they're looking to bring their pets along. They're looking to, like, about 25% of these bookers, of these travelers, are looking for a rig that's going to comfortably sleep 4 people. So it's showing us they're wanting to bring their families along and their pets. And so they really are looking to take like longer trips. I think the average trip length is about 6 days. Really like take that PTO, spend some time out in nature, even if it's just their backyard, or rediscovering, a local state park nearby or a national park nearby, again, to that trend of nearcations. And I think the response that we've seen from first-time renters, it's all like, what is that saying? Like the proof's in the pudding, because we have seen repeat bookings up by 22% this year from last year. So this time last year, we're up 22%. And that's just such a great testament to this as a form of travel, to see that repeat rate come back. Like those first timers actually want to come back and take a second trip and a third trip with their families and their pets. So I think that says, they're having a great time out there on the road, and making those memories that they want to come back and actually do it all over again, but in a different camper van or different RV.
Very good. All right, Jen, let me end the conversation with one last question. First of all, thank you very much for sharing the news about the $2 billion in transaction and the 1 million trips. That's awesome. What's next for Outdoorsy? Where do you go from here?
Great question. Let me start by answering what's next for all of these American or North American families that are looking for what's next in their summer before it ends quickly. One thing I wanted to talk a little bit about there is, look, Labor Day is all about the last minute mentality, right? It's all about like, wow, like, how do I get something organized? I don't want the warm weather to end up. We don't want to go back to school and back to work. And we definitely don't want Christmas to be 12 or 14 weeks away. And so one thing I wanted to get in there, Rick, is Outdoorsy offers this amazing delivery service. It's literally like a stress-free outdoor vacation. You don't have to be an RVer. You don't have to drive the RV. Literally, we do all the work for you. So you can search and find a vehicle on outdoorsy.com, and the owners will drive it, set it up at a nearby beach or national park or state park or a lot of private campgrounds in your area. Another benefit is we make suggestions of like what's great to visit and see near where you live. And we're also offering some really good discounted pricing, either per night or for overall weekends and weeks. So I would just love to shout out, if you've got that last minute mentality itch, then please make sure you check out outdoorsy.com and squeeze in one last summer vacation. So that's what's coming next for all of us this summer. But in terms of what's coming next for Outdoorsy at a business level, we are really focused. We're focused on building a travel ecosystem, not just an RV rental marketplace. And a big piece of what we build and do every day is the insurance and all of the safety products that surround making sure that everybody is protected through the transaction, whether it is our guests or our hosts, the owner for their vehicle, whether it's their own personal use and insurance, or for the episodic, meaning the insurance coverage needed for the trip, for both an individual level and also at a business level. So we're really deep in building out that suite of insurance products, and making sure that we've got you covered for the vehicle while the vehicle is on the road, et cetera, and making sure that safety is at the highest echelon of our overall business plans. We're also sneakily looking at a couple of new fresh territories for new product launches and categories. So let me tease that out. I hope there is some excited people listening here today about what that means coming from Outdoorsy. But it will be a fresh new face for our company next spring season with even more travel products and options that people can consider when they're thinking about outdoor vacations. So stay tuned from that. Maybe you'll have us back on and we can talk specifically about launch dates.
We'd love to have you back on, and your marketing background is shining through. Nice tease.
Right? I mean, hey, look, we've been working really hard on this. We've been working on this for like over a year. So, and we do it to serve our customers. I mean, we're genuinely trying to be the new face of outdoor travel. And yes, recreational vehicles, camper vans, motorhomes, that will always be, at the heart of our business, because it offers the mobility and it offers the type of products that we want everybody to have more access to. But our mission is our overall mission is restoring our relationship with the outdoors. How does Outdoorsy, how are we building a brand that restores all of our relationships with the outdoors? So we got to offer more than just the camper van or the RV vacation. And we've been hard at work on both product and marketing and sales and customer service to be able to bring some new offerings to bear. So stay tuned from us.
Very good. Ladies, thank you again. I really enjoyed the conversation. Congratulations on just the continued success of Outdoorsy. And yes, we'll look forward to talking to you again when you have more news to share. How's that?
Thank you. We're huge fans of RVBusiness. We love what you guys provide in terms of content and awareness and education. So thank you for supporting Outdoorsy, and I'm sure we'll speak with you soon.
Oh, thank you very much for that. All right.
Looking
we'll talk to you
forward
later.
Thanks, Rick.
Bye, guys.